This is me in the middle of the night, not going for a walk. There's a part of me that does not want to stress people out and does not want to make this video. And there's another part of me that's going, I bet there's people stressed out and I haven't made a video. This is pure chaos, but I moved into a spider-infested, unfinished basement with no electric power. There's one outlet that the sump pump is plugged into, therefore I can't touch that. This is unbelievably stressful. In addition to that, after the stress and physical stress of moving here and getting everything out of the other place, there's work stress, which is it's coming up on the 4th of July and everybody wants a time off, so I'm working 14 hours a day or something like that. I mean, I'm making a gob of money, but who really cares? And there's another issue, which is my landlord has some major boundary issues. I mean, obviously, you rent out a place that has no electricity and is bug infested. That's called illegal. It also has no lock on the door that goes into the house because it's not supposed to be a place that's rented. But then also, he watches me out the window and stuff. It's very nervous making, let's call it that. And when I moved in here, I came in with my son. He was helping me move because for the most part, my kid is a good kid, okay? I know he's got his issues, but he's a good kid. Anyway, he was traumatized by this place. He's like, they probably have cameras in the bathroom. The bathroom is an issue, actually. I'll come back to that. Anyway, and he was like, oh, you can't stay here. But I am staying here because I don't have any place else to go. Anyway, after the move, this is the first day that we moved in. This was 3 hours after we moved in. I took my son home. Now I'm in a basement. I don't know if you've tried to get in the basement. The stairs make me so nervous. They are not actually flush with the building. There's a gap. And they've got different heights, or whatever you call it, between the risers. So it's like a big step down over a gap. I haven't gotten used to it. I'm pretty scared by it. So I can't go through the normal house. I have to go through this basement bulkhead area. And I'm making this sound horrible. It's worse than it sounds. Anyway, because of that, I left the light on when I left my son, because then I can see. This is another thing. In a basement, the light is not at the door. The light is at the bottom once you've gotten down, and it's so dark in here. I mean, I'm recording now. I haven't got anything over it's completely black, right? So I left the light on, and I drop my son off, and I come back and the light is off. That means that the landlord has been in this area that he has rented to me. Again, illegal and creepy. There's the word. That's an issue. Anyway. Additionally, he hasn't mowed the backyard, and I have to walk through it. And I swear to God, now again, the house I was at before, I had bats. I love my bats. I love my bats because they eat all the bugs. Well, guess what? I think I've gotten more bug bites in the last 24 hours than I have in the past year. Not ideal. But then I've got this landlord who he monitors me. There's no other way of describing it. Like he sits in the window and watches what's going on. My son wanted to meet this guy, not around, but watching out the window. And down into the space where I'm living without. I don't know what he's down here. I mean, it's his house, it's his basement, but there are no walls. There's nothing to sort of mark my area. Anyway, and then when I was leaving to go get ready for work, obviously there's certain physical things you need to take care of before this happens. I went to the bathroom, and this guy who was nowhere near anywhere, I didn't see him at all, was outside the bathroom door yelling, "Is everything okay in there?" And I'm like, oh my God. So I was pretty upset about that. Plus, of course, I've lost all my cats. Now they're doing okay. They're not doing great, and they're not with me. And I'm in mourning. And I could get them back, but I'm in mourning. Anyway, I'm hearing this person outside the door. I could leave, and he's not there. And I was upset. There's no other explanation. So I was sending an email to somebody who wanted to know what it was like after I moved. And I was pretty blunt. Somehow, I did not send it to this person. I sent it. This message was very blunt to my landlord. Dear God, horrifying. Although I don't want to be here. This is not my standard. This is awful. Again, where I live in southern Maine. It's easier to get an apartment in Manhattan. Somebody said, oh yeah, why don't you go to Las Vegas? Well, I looked up apartments in Las Vegas. 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment is cheaper than a studio in the area that I currently live. And yes, there is a sort of bubble with apartments because there were quite a few people who were like, oh, COVID, we don't have to pay our rent. We're not going to pay our rent, who are on the verge of being evicted. There's going to be a huge glut of places soon, but not now. In Las Vegas, though, this great apartment is half the price of a studio in my area. It's outrageous. But again, I sent this stupid email to my landlord who got it and immediately was like, yeah, I want you to move out. And I went, oh my God. And then he came back immediately and said, you need to move out at the end of August. Because, of course, he doesn't want to pay me back for anything I've already paid him. So I have like less than 2 months. Although I was so relieved at that. And there's a possibility if I move out that I could move to a place that accepts cats and I can get them all back. I was like smiling and so relieved at this idea. I mean, living in an infested basement, not cool. So this is the horror story, and I am definitely looking for a new place. I've already sent out feelers. Hopefully I'll find something. It's gross. I like killed myself for the first 2 months. Now I'm going to kill myself for the second 2 months. So, an absolute nightmare. But I did move. I made all my deadlines. That's good. For a person who's obsessed with deadlines, to the point where it's almost like an OCPD, um, OCDPD personality trait. I definitely don't have that, but anyway, I did move. I am in this place. It's extremely temporary. If I had my way, I'd be out by next month, even though I'm going to lose rents, like the rent for that month. That'd be cool. So that is what's going on. I'll keep you updated. Basically, the worst thing that could happen happened, which was that I'm immediately kicked out of this place. So I'm still looking for a new place to live. And that is what happened. Also, I'm working insane hours. I think I'm working 14 hours each day, the next 2 days, because everybody took the day off for the holiday. Anyway, I'm going to end this now. I'm sorry I'm scared and horrified, people. But that's reality. And hopefully the next place, like I said, will be a little more secure. And also that I'll have my cats out. Anyway, I will talk to you later.